Okay, there he is. Okay.
Hey, John. Yeah. Okay. Do you need it a little more, or a little like? Let me just see it. Monitors are on. Bring it up just a. Yeah, try that. Teeny little bit. Whoa. Too much? Yeah. Okay, try that. It's not okay. It's not okay if you say it's just okay. What can I do? Is it a sonic thing? Just wait a second. Okay. I mean, I can do. I have an EQ across your mix. I can make it like less. If it's like sonically making you unhappy in some way, or if it's. Well, it is, but I don't know what to tell you how to fix it. Is it kind of that kind of high MIDI like or? Yeah. Hang on just a second. Not more bass, but more something warmer or. Try that. Go ahead and play. Okay. Tom, do you want to run up on stage and see if they just hit the piano and hit the I think it's probably just right. What happened? Hey Tom. Yes. Do we have a kind of small box? If we need to raise that up. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was just asking you to go listen in that John's mix and see if there was something like just sonically if there was something like yeah, Sheila did. We didn't check headphones. I've got TAL down, but
Okay, talking on Stephanie's mic. Listening to Stephanie's headphones, which work. Okay, thank you.
I'm more into that. Watching the marquee, the Roy James.
I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah. I'm trying to get that. And a lot of those are actually mixed in surround, like they're distinct. Like it's
Yeah, I don't want. Part of me wants to hurt his feelings.
I mean,
And like lay it
and I'm
out.
sure like maybe against certain guys he would, but it's like it's like
well, yeah, down.
also when you combine all this stuff together, it's going to be more dynamic, more exciting, more dangerous.
I mean, this is the argument, and it's totally right.
Yeah, well, all ages, but the young Ben's you're right.
There's some of that
Apple fish and cherry.
Right, you can't go.
no head,
Yeah.
no need to head of the ground and opponent.
Right. But when you shoot your boxing, it's like, oh, I think you shake yours off.
I won't throw you now.
I won't take it from my I won't utilize all of your boxing. Right.
Like, just like,
Right, I won't take it, maybe I won't take it home with me.
Five, 105. Agent 99. Ooh. 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 I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of house. I can't tell what's. Darling, 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 darling. Less vocal, please. Could I hear the wedge without the house? Yeah, that's plenty of vocals, thank you. And a little guitar, please. Sounds good. Wow, that's still just monitoring the guitar?
How's it out right now?
If you could either give me a hair more on the bottom or a hair less on the top, that'd be perfect for me. I'm good up here, but I'm happy to play whatever you need for out there. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, she's the queen of the West. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. The biggest steamboat that ever was afloat on the Mississippi River back home. On the bumpa. She's a daughter to the Grand Republic and the JMY. She's a sister to the Delta Queen on a moonlit night. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, she's the queen of the West. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. The biggest steamboat that ever was afloat on the Mississippi River back home. Pittsburgh, Sewickley, Point Pleasant, Huntington, Cincinnati, Louisville, Towel City, Evansville, Paducah, Cairo, Memphis, Greenville, Vicksburg, Natchez, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. The people all standing on the levee, watching for the Mississippi Queen, oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, she's the queen of the West. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, headed up the Mississippi. The biggest steamboat that ever was afloat on the Mississippi River back home. Bum, 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 bum. Can't you feel my love a-growing? Can't you feel it ain't showing? Oh, you must be knowing I got a big, big love. This is not infatuation, it's a true love sensation. It's not my imagination, I got a big, big love. Can't you feel my love a-growing? Think it's time we done some walking. I think it's time we done some talking. There's a great big moon above, and baby, I got a big, big love. This is not infatuation. The Charleston was once the rage. History has turned a page. Mini skirts, the current thing on. Teeny boppers and newborn king on. And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on. Why? be like any guy. Why do they try to make me run? Son of a gun now, what do they care about the clothes I wear? Why get their kicks from making fun? This world's got a lot of space, and if they don't like my face, it ain't me that's going any place. So I don't care, they can laugh at me if that's unfair. I've got to be free, so baby, laugh at me, and I'll cry for you, and I'll pray for you, and I'll do everything that the man upstairs says to do. I'll do it for you. I'll do it all for you. It's gotta start someplace. It's gotta start sometime. You need more?
Just, let's see. Yeah, I think, are you happy up there?
I'm real good, yeah.
Okay, I think we're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's probably going to act like 57 or something.
Fairly low gain.
Probably. Yeah, probably a book or something. Whoop.
Yeah. Is there? I've got a gain all the way down. We might need more than that, Tom. 'Cause that's. I mean, it needs to be. That needs to be like 1 inch away. You know what? Tom, I have a little.
Gotcha.
Okay, we've got a very little. Okay, what I've got one here too. Is that? Well, we didn't know. If we heard you robbed Elvis's grave.
Wood that's a couple inches high.
Hey Sheila or Tom. I don't see anything in Michael's screen tonight. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll mention it. And Tom Lane, the other issue we might have, and we might need to figure out how to put this on an arm stand. Because, like, just sitting back, we're still going to have the issue of distance. I mean, maybe not.
No ice. A line.
Actually, that has to be.
I don't even need a straw. Not yet. Haven't gotten on that yet. On the to-do list.
This is a little disturbing to have this thing right here. Nothing.
Oh, I have one too. Did she take his name? That one's good.
No, I was gone until last night. Yep, I'm gonna do what I did last week. Was it last week? Yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's because my phone time's out. But I'll get it sorted. Oh man. What's that? Oh yeah, I was gone this last week, so I didn't see. Was it snowing? Oh. Oh really? You like it? Aw. Jeff, what are you drinking?
Hey, dig this. At my gig last night in Chicago, this guy comes up and introduces himself. And here, I'm just going to show you this picture. I was going to send it to you last night, but it was too late.
Oh, really?
We were, I was like, do we have a wireless in the, or a battery in the wireless?
Is he living here now? Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. Thank you. No, I'm friends with him. I'm gonna have to message him. Thanks, Jeff.
going to happen? Oh, that's a good idea.
that, John? What was that?
Gravy Waltz.
Oh. Not one of your originals?
No.
Oh, okay. That was.
You know, this show right here, this podcast, used to have a host. Back in the day, long.
Well, the
time.
last I
Yeah,
heard
the
from
good old
him-
days when there was a host.
Last I heard from him, he said he was warming up. So
Oh, okay.
there he is.
There he is. That's right. We do whatever the hell we want. She said we do whatever the hell we want. We're ready. Yeah. There was applause and songs, and we were whimsical about we used to have a host. Oh.
Start in 5 minutes.
Huh?
And 11.
Wait a minute.
Oh my God. I knew the system would not work. Yahtzee.
Oh, there.
All right. Where did you find this? You got everything you need?
I think so.
You got it worked out?
I think so. We'll see how it goes.
I'm a technophobe, but I have a lot of
I am
phobes.
too.
So it's way down on my list of phobes. Things that I have a phobe about.
Nothing. That's
No, what'd you say?
musical joke.
What?
I said I love that song, Old Phobes. See, I shouldn't.
Old folks?
Old Folks' song.
You guys good?
You probably should do the jokes.
Huh?
You probably should do the jokes. We're good.
Somebody should do them. I don't know
Somebody
if it
should
should be
do
me. You want to do the jokes?
What jokes?
Exactly. Your point is well taken. All right. I just gotta get into a mindset here. Trouble getting a mindset. Because once my mind sets, it's just there. It's like concrete setting. Environmental dogs sniffing out duty is their duty. Okay. All right, the that I don't need. Food scraps and domestication. However, fake dog nose. I think that's going to be popular. Fake dog nose. Good. Okay, just 7 minutes will start.
Jeff and John, you look like a boy band today. You're like dressed the same.
Yeah, boy band.
Except we're not boys. And we're not a band.
Boy band. I'm going to step out their world. And then I got to, this is, Being a Dog is our book for the day. I hope you brought it with you because there will be a quiz. Alexandra Horowitz, the author of #1 New York Times bestseller, Inside of a Dog, is back with Being a Dog, actually being a dog.
Inside of a dog?
This means like wearing a dog head, walking on all fours, and doing a tail thing, and some butt sniffing. So find out how that's working out for her. And of course, Robbie Fulks is here. Yes, Robbie Fulks, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the highest that mic stand has ever been. And it's just scary, scary tall. He's scary tall. All right, let's just, what should we, oh yeah, I know, I start with this. And then, all right, so that, okay, time to start. Let's just see here. It's awfully quiet in here. Can you pretend like you're enjoying, if not me, something? Oh yeah, it's a saloon. Okay, I know, I didn't do my warm-up. How are y'all? Oh, y'all, good to see you. Can't hardly see you. Thanks for coming, and thanks for bringing your tables with you. Got a good show for you today, as you know. Robbie Fulks is backstage there tuning up. He put new strings on. For this performance. I'm very excited. And, of course, being a dog, I mentioned that. So we get a chance to do both those things, be a dog and be a Fulks.
There he is.
There
It's
he is.
actually a sighting. It's a Robbie Fulks sighting, ladies and gentlemen. He's slouching a little bit because he's actually much taller than that. I don't know why he does that.
He is tall.
Yeah. How are you? Pretty good then? Okay. And what's going on today? Anything? You got something to do? Or apparently not because you're here.
Yeah.
But then after this, what do you got? Is there a farmer's market yet? Inside, yeah, the one that by us
Yeah.
there now. It's
Our
just
old
all
one.
squash and stuff.
And maple syrup.
Squash and maple syrup. There's only so much you can do with squash and maple syrup.
Maybe carrots, potatoes, or something.
Huh?
Some root vegetable.
Root vegetables, yes, root vegetables. How are you over there? Are you here for the show too, or are you just... Okay, that's good. What you drinking then? A Virgin Mary. Okay. What's the point of that?
I came from Milwaukee to enjoy this.
Yeah, but that's a long time from now. What's the half-life of a Bloody Mary? 5,000 years? I don't think so. I think it's probably... Waukesha. You'll be sober by Waukesha. We're right by the state patrol there, so it's perfect timing. So I would have one, you know. I don't know, because I don't want to read about it. After being advised to drink at Michael Feldman's podcast, The High Noon Saloon,
After
a woman...
being alcohol shamed.
Being alcohol shamed, yeah. Alcohol shamed. How many kinds of shaming? There's all kinds of shaming I didn't know about now. How can... What kind of shame? What? What?
I said that's because you're a white man.
White man shamed. I've just been white man shamed. I've been shamed for being a white man. Okay. A little hurt. I'm a little hurt. But I'll get over it. You know why? Because I'm going to get fat. Then you can fat shame me. Well, thank you all for coming. Great to have you here. The show begins with... I can't really tell you, today, but it's something that's intended to be humorous usually, just so you know that in advance. Have humorous expectations and give me the benefit of the doubt. That'll be fine. Overreact as much as possible. We do have an applause sign. Can you show them what that looks like? Yeah. All right, that's kind of polite. Like overreact. Okay, so let's try it once again with... I think if you flash at a different... more at a frequency like this, then you get more huzzah kind of thing. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. No, it doesn't work either. Okay. All right. We don't have a laugh sign though, so you have to kind of just giggle for no reason. All right. If you drink enough, that usually happens. So, but not on a Virgin Mary. I'm sorry. So all right. So the show is actually 2 hours. Each show is a different show. Those hours.
Is there a quiz on
This is behind the scenes podcasting stuff.
You got a lot of raised eyebrows on that one.
What?
You got a lot
Well,
of raised
no, I mean,
eyebrows.
usually I used to do a show. It was 2 hours, and it was one long, long, but it was one show. But now this show, this first hour will be a show about dogs sniffing other dogs, and then Robbie Fulks will be in the other show. Totally different subject. So you have to dispense with the whole dog where they stick their noses, and then to enjoy Robbie in the second hour, as if that had never happened. Okay? Good. Thank you. Well, I know you're a little more advanced than I am. How are you in back there? Can you hear me okay? Yeah? Feel free to move down here. Move your table. Bring it with you. In fact, bring the pool table down here. We'll have some fun. And we'll try to condense it. All right, so the other begins with what should be a joke, or whatever it is not. At that point, I will say, "What do you know?" which is our catchphrase. You respond as if one person, not much. You? Okay. One person responded. That's just the way things are going. No, thank you very much for your effort.
He's your super fan.
Yeah, a super fan. I need a super fan. All right, let's try one again. Loud but conversational. Okay? The voice you should use like you're talking to Graham, and she's a little bit hard of hearing, but she's not stupid. So, okay? You say, Not much. You, Graham?
Huh?
Okay, so here's, all right, never mind, just do it. Just do it. I say, what do you know?
That was.
All right.
had it.
See several problems here. One is you.
No, they're good.
It's
They
not
got it.
ethnic enough. I'm going to white shame you here. Those of you who are white, I would like to say that, God damn it, you got to show a little ethnic sensibility here. Ethnic. Not much. Not much. You. See the difference? Not much. You. And not much. You. You got this. I got a car for you. You need a car? What do you need? A Pontiac? I got a car. You. Jewish car dealer. Okay, that's my only invitation. I do. Jewish car dealer. All right. Still selling Pontiacs. Okay. All right, you with me? No, you're not with me. Okay, all right, let's try it one more time. This is not important, but it sort of sets the tone for the show. Okay, so, what is that? I don't know. What do you know? Not much. You. Okay, my pep talk didn't know good, but we'll try the best. Just try and overreact. Be loud. And we got it. We'll fix it in the, in post. All right, just about ready now. It's only 12:14.
Oh, man, behind already.
Yeah. But you got to be back for something?
Dogs.
Yeah.
Insulin.
What am I hearing here in the back? It sounds like a waterfall. No, I'm hearing like,
HVAC.
is that me?
It's
It's
the
the
heat.
HVAC?
Air conditioner action.
Oh,
Really?
Yep.
do we need to turn that off?
No.
That's the heat too?
Yeah,
We should leave that on.
it's the whole
It's your
shebang.
static.
But it sounds like a waterfall. It sounds like I'm working a waterfall. Do you hear that?
Are you having a stroke?
Oh God.
Jesus.
It's
Do we need
just
to
a
call
little
somebody?
one. I get them all the time. I was just doing the mannequin challenge,
We started it?
and I stayed that way for about 7 hours. It's not technically it's not a stroke. You don't hear that? Do you hear that?
I hear it, but
Does it sound loud to you?
No.
No, does it sound loud to you? You're not hearing it. Do you hear that?
I hear it.
Is that a problem?
It's the
cooler from behind the bar. It's the cooler from behind the bar.
I feel it Lynn's
That's a scary
ambience.
title, isn't it? What?
I feel it Lynn's ambience.
I think it sounds like shit. Is that the same thing as ambience?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. One man's shit is another man's ambience. The Michael Feldman bio. All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, I think I'm fine. Okay, all right, here we go. We're gonna start here right now. Okay. All right. Let me just start here right now. You know, a big part of our effort here at Whad'ya Know, historically, is to lighten your load with levity in troubled times. From Reagan all the way through the anticipated Baron von Trump administration. They will insert the von during the Eric Trump administration to come. We've done all the news that isn't Trump, all the news BT before Trump. Just 2 recent attempts of such load lightening levity. Today, another go at answering the musical question, how do you solve a problem like the Donald? With our new feature, all the news that's pretty much a crapshoot. Got him right here. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's see, get an audio thing here. Okay, cool. All the news is pretty much a crapshoot in which we roll the dice thrice to come up with a random date in history. 99.999% of which neglect to mention, even in passing, anything Trump, or Drumpf-like. So we can go anywhere in history now with it and get that news instead of concentrating on this news, which is overburdened with a certain individual. So let's 3 rolls. We can get any date in history. Let's start now. That's a 6.
Snake eyes, wasn't it?
That's an 11. So we have June the 11th. We roll each one individually now. We get to year 2 and 5. So the year, it's all the news that isn't for June 11th, 1925. God, all I heard was you respirating. This was a scary moment for me. Well, what do you know? Not much. You. Oh, boy.
And now, live from Madison, Wisconsin's High Noon Saloon, cold beer, hot music, nothing wrong with that. It's Michael Feldman's What Do You Know? Brought to you by Boru King's Oriental Rugs of Madison. Once you go Bishar, you never go back. Persian BIJAR.com. Tell Albert Michael sent ya. And by the Wisconsin Greenhouse Company. Sales, installations, lighting, and repairs. Check them out at wisconsingreenhousecompany.com. Being a dog, following the dog into a world of smell is the latest from Alexandra Horowitz, who runs the Dog Cognition Lab at Barnard College. To my right is John Thulin, keyboards and offhand remarks. By his side, that stand-up guy on stand-up bass, Jeff Hammond. Straight ahead, so to speak, Lyle Anderson, carol-runner and phone answerer. And myself, most definitely, Stephanie Lee. And now, the man who genuinely believes his dog Bella has abstract reasoning powers, not just facial tics, Michael Feldman.
Yeah, hey. Okay. Yeah! Okay, for a career, it comes up. I didn't see it. It went off. Yes, so it's all the news that isn't for, did you get the concept? It is a very complicated setup here. All the news that isn't for June 11th, 1925. And so, what do we got? Yes, F. Scott Fitzgerald's new one, The Great Gatsby, flops, despite good reviews. Millionaires with reckless disregard for the lives of the poor, it seems, will not be popular for some years to come. And this a motorist hotel, they're calling it a motel, is open in San Luis Obispo, California, for motorists needing a pit stop from the long drive between San Francisco to Los Angeles. Some question whether pricey $1.25 a night cost might keep frugal motorists motoring on. Time will motel. Killed him back in 25, I'll tell you that. I'm a little disappointed. With the intricate work on Teddy Roosevelt's mustache completed, the Mount Rushmore Presidential Monument in Keystone, South Dakota, will be ready in the fall for its dedication by President Calvin Coolidge, who, given his low popular standing, has little chance of being added to the giant sculpture. This is killing him. This is killing him. The explorer who led the first expedition to the South Pole, Norwegian Roald Amundsen, will undertake the first air expedition to the North Pole with 2 flying boats. Even if one of them crashes, then they have to shovel 600 tons of ice on one day's rations to build an airstrip to allow the overcrowded remaining plane to return despite being thought lost. More on this story as it develops. In Dayton, Tennessee, the Scopes monkey trial ends with the monkeys winning. Even though evolution teacher John T. Scopes' $100 fine will likely be appealed, the trial establishes a precedent that evolution, while a legitimate science, may not have occurred in Tennessee. The New England Journal of Medicine suggests the new science of psychotherapy may be useful in combating mental and nervous disorders in league with the more accepted regimens of electroshock, waterboarding, and lobotomy. Okay. Hard to laugh at those things, I understand that. John and Horace Dodge, the Dodge brothers, introduced their latest automotive innovation, the special touring car boasting 5 balloon tires. At the, however, balloon price of $1,085 FOB Detroit, delivered. The Sears Roebuck catalog opens its first brick and mortar store and merchandise mart in Chicago with a diverse assortment of offerings, including tombstones, farm tractors, milking stalls, a hunting lodge ready for assembly, soda shop, chiropodist, dentist, chiropractor, and an indoor children's playground. No punchline there. I just thought it was a nice collection of things. And, the WSM Barn Dance from WSM Radio in Nashville has rebranded itself as the Grand Ole Opry, despite being neither grand nor old nor an Opry. The fashion word for fall 1925 for Milady runs from brim turbans, fruit cluster hats, and straw brim hats, over princess line dresses with a more fitted feminine look for 1925, down to the white kid and patent leather pumps for her royal feet, while for men it's all swagger hats and brown or blue suits. Okay, and in baseball, the Brooklyn Robins pummeled rookie Rogers Hornsby to hand the St. Louis Cardinals a 7-5 loss. That's all news it isn't for June the 11th, 1925. Thank you so much. Not one mention of you-know-who wasn't even born yet. Okay. See, the links I go to try and please you now. Okay. The new one by Alexandra Horowitz, who wrote Inside of a Dog, is Being a Dog. So she's going through every end of this particular dog. I don't know if this is hers. I don't think it is, actually. And it's following the dog into a world of smell in this edition, where we look at the amazing features of dogs, including their nose, which any of you who has a dog knows that their nose is an extraordinary thing, no matter where it goes. And it always seems to, and we have Alexandra Horowitz on the line with us from New York City. Alexandra, are you there?
I am.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is not your dog pictured on the book cover, though.
No, I wish my dogs got on the cover, but they are not cover dogs. This is a nicely sniffing dog is why this one was chosen.
Yeah. I have a dog I could have loaned you. Very good for covers, I think.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Please, Bella.
Bella, she's half poodle and half beagle, which I don't believe occurs in nature.
No, nature didn't do that. We had to do that.
We had to do that, yeah. And this is another bestseller for you. People love their dogs, don't they? I mean, people love their cats, I'll give you that, but they love their dogs as much or more.
And maybe they want to find out about their dogs more than they truly, really want to find out about their cats' minds.
Yeah. But so much of dog behavior, you think, well, are they putting us on, or are they just, it's how they act. Like, all the love we get from our dogs, is that really happening?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, is their feeling of love identical to ours? Well, God,
yes.
I kind of hope not, but certainly they show all the behaviors that we would call love in people, attention to something, loyalty, excitement when you see the loved object again, and sadness when they're gone. So yeah, I mean, I think that's real emotion.
Yeah. Do the dogs? I mean, what are the dogs thinking, though? I mean, you're in dog cognition.
Right. If we knew the answer to what the dogs were thinking, there wouldn't be a field of dog cognition. And that's the whole thing, is exploring, what exactly is on their mind. How do they perceive the world? And it's still, mostly a mystery to us.
Yeah. Is there a field of dog cognition now? I know your place at Barnard, but is there a growing field?
There are a number of dog cognition labs now. It actually, and there are many more in Europe, but there are a few in the States. And we all basically do the same thing, which is study dog behavior or watch dogs or do little simple experiments and try to make inferences about what they know, just like you would do with any other more exotic animal, a chimpanzee or people who study monkeys or mammals in the wild. But
it's a little different, though, because I had a fruit fly guy on here the other day, and we talked about fruit flies and the male with the serrated penis, and the female has developed strategies for getting around that, and necessarily, like actually becoming imitative of the male, looking like a male, so she didn't have to bother with that thing, But that was a study in genetics and sort of and how things evolved. When we study the dog, they're not genetically even related to humans, right? There's no common ancestor with the dog, is there?
Well, all the way back, I mean, the same reason we're interested in the fruit flies is, the genomes, we have something, 70% of our genome is shared with the fruit fly, and but not enough for us to look at the fruit fly's behavior and say, oh yeah, that just really reminds me of my uncle. So dogs are a lot closer than that. But yeah, they hadn't been really observed by animal behavior researchers because we mostly started with the really closely related animals, chimps and bonobos and other apes. And dogs then were an afterthought. You know, people thought we already must know everything about dogs because there they are in my living room, you know, so I better know everything about that animal. But they hadn't ever been studied. And so my field is about, finding out, you know, what their minds are actually like.
Yeah. Because actually, your husband's in your living room. What do you know about him?
It's true. I mean, it's a parallel problem. You know, I can ask him and I can get a response from him, but the dogs very rarely answer me in words.
But, you know, in terms of the dog behavior and so forth, understanding what dogs are really like, does that then, are we looking for it to apply to human behavior?
Not necessarily, although it sometimes reflects on us. In other words, one of the questions people have about dogs is, geez, why dogs? You know, why don't we have elephants in the house? Like, why do we not have possums as companion possums and so forth? And one of the things about dogs is you can look at some of the things they do, like they watch where we're looking. They use our attention very well. They're good at following our points, see where we're pointing. Are really familiar to us, just are like what young children learn to do. And so in some ways it reflects back on some of the things that are important to us in dealing with an animal. We want an animal who kind of seems to get us, and dogs do.
Are they pandering to us?
Yeah, well, you know, I feel like more the word would be manipulating us, you know. They are pretty good at using our attention to get what they want. We're slow learners, but eventually we learn what they want and we give it to them.
Yeah. So now, for a human being, the go-to, if we're in a new situation, the go-to sense we'd use would probably be our eyes first.
Absolutely, yeah. We're visual creatures.
Right. But for a dog, is the go-to the nose?
It is. Yeah, and we all know, anyone who lives with a dog knows the dog is, you know, interested in smelling. But in this book, I was really interested in finding out, you know, just how good they are at smelling and what they can do with that, and also sort of how it changes their way of experiencing the world. And I think it really changes it a lot. So they don't even see the same things in a room as we do, because they're viewing it mostly through its smells more than how it looks.
Yeah. In terms of what they're seeing while they're smelling, what are they seeing? Do they have rather poor eyesight?
No, their eyesight's perfectly decent. They're a little nearsighted, and they don't have 3-color vision. They have 2-color vision, so they can confuse some. It's more, and they have great vision for motion. You know, so every dog you know who can leap up and snatch a frisbee out of the air, that is aided by the fact that their eyes see motion much better than ours do. So it's just a little different than ours. It's not like it's bad, but our noses are perfectly good noses too, but we just don't use them. We don't lead the world with our nose.
Well, are their noses so good that it leaches into the other senses? For example, is there some nose in what they see?
Well, it's in a way, you know, they use, like if you leave the house with your dog, the first thing that your dog is probably doing is smelling what's out in front of your house or on the sidewalk or wherever you live, smelling what's happened, what's gone by, and what's present there. And then they might use their eyes to help guide them to the source of whatever the smell is that they smell. So they stick their nose out, they smell that smells like somebody's recently gone by, and then they use their eyes to find where the person is, and then they might, you know, try to pull you over there so they can smell more closely. So they use them in tandem.
Yeah. Now there's something that comes there that's controversial, I think, and you say that male dogs will go to the butt first when they're smelling. We've all been a part of that scenario, one end or the other. But female dogs will go to the face first, will smell the face first. Is that just sort of a gender bias, or is that actually happening?
Yeah, no, this is true. This is, if you were in, you know, someone wants to enter dog cognition, this is the type of research that is done, which is looking at when dogs greet each other, you know, is there a difference between the males and females? And yeah, the females tend to go to sniff each other's faces first, on average, and meaning, because there's lots of scents around the eyes, around the ears, around the mouth that say something about who that dog is. But the males are more likely to go for the rump first.
Okay.
And that tells us, you know, what they're doing, which is, you know, figuring out if they're the female's ready to mate. Basically, it's reproductive information they're looking for as much as anything.
As much as anything, but yet there's a world to choose from there at that locale.
There are there are a lot of smells. I mean, basically every scent that's emanating from the dog or from us is like a signature scent, and it's something about like who that dog is. And that's what they're doing when they stick their noses closely in the fur of another dog, is they're getting a really good sense of who that is, and maybe if they're healthy or not. Certainly if they're female or male, they don't have to like duck under and look under another dog to see if they're female or male. They smell it.
Yeah.
You smell female or male, or what the dog has eaten. All sorts of information about who that dog is in their smell.
Yeah, at the lab, do we have any idea on how many how many brain computations that dog is going through on his butt sniffing? I mean, does his brain light up?
There's absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of contemplation on the rump smell. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's been studied. Well, you'd have to get a dog, an fMRI, which some people are doing, to look at their brains.
Right.
But it's hard to get a dog sniffing another dog. You would never do that. So you just look at the behavior, and we also happen to know, they have this olfactory lobe, which is relatively much bigger than ours, which lights up at any smell, and then the information will travel to all different parts of the brain: memory, emotion, and action. Often they smell something and they act on it, right? So there's a really close connection between smell and action.
And the sniff is not just a sniff; it's a very sophisticated mechanism. True.
Yeah, there are actually people who study the dog sniff, which I think is wonderful. And mostly that's because they want to create an artificial sniffer, like an electronic nose. And so they're modeling the system, the dog's nose, because it's the best sniffer we know. And these guys discovered all sorts of amazing things about the sniff. One of my favorites is that, they sniff much more rapidly than we do, so that's one of the reasons they're better. So they can sniff about 5 to 10 times a second. Whereas our sniff is like 1 every second and a half, so much less information gets to our nose. And then they exhale in this amazing way. Well, if you have a bad smell in your nose, you can exhale it out, right? You can just breathe it out by forcefully exhaling. But dogs don't really want to get a smell out of their nose. They want to keep smelling. It's how they're seeing the world. So they have those little side slits at the side of their nose. And it looks like what they do when they exhale is send air out the side slit, so that it doesn't actually, they don't have to stop sniffing. They can still be inhaling while they're exhaling the old air. It's kind of a wonderful little mechanism. No electronic nose has ever matched it.
Yeah, that's like playing a flute, kind of. You have to.
It is like circular breathing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Only with noses.
And without the flute.
And with no flute, and with rumps. Yeah. So it's different, but like it.
Expired canine. Who's the discoverer of expired canine nostril air jets?
Yeah, a guy named Gary Settles and Brent Craven, his student at the time, who were at Penn State.
Ah. Does he get credit for it, or is it just?
Sure, yeah. But that's just a model, and what they're trying to do is build an electronic nose, and that's the thing that has eluded them.
I do. As a matter of fact, Lyle Anderson, who's a big fan of yours, by the way, bought your book and actually paid for it.
Wonderful. That's my favorite way of getting it.
Yeah. And you got the nameplate and everything that you signed. It looks nothing like your name. It just seems a little couple letters there. It's nice.
No. I have my dog sign on my book. So
But anyhow, he gave me this article he saw too from the Guardian in England. Bomb detector works better with a fake dog nose on the end.
Really?
So there you go.
Oh, well, the bomb detector, right, but not as good as a dog's nose. The dog's nose still surpasses it.
But they probably don't want to put a dog up there against the bomb.
That's the key, is that essentially you don't want to send, ideally we wouldn't be sending dogs out to sniff landmines because, when they discover them, then they've discovered a landmine, which is the end of the dog.
Yeah. And the other landmark name, I guess, is Stuart Firestein.
Yeah, he's an olfactory researcher at Columbia.
Yeah, I talked to him years ago, I believe, about back when he was doing, they had people would smell other people's armpits for some reason.
That's right. Yeah, that's the human smell research, which I went into a lot also in this book, because my idea was, I need to be a better smeller myself, to understand what it's like to be a dog. So I need to start using my nose. And one of the studies with human smell are really in their infancy compared to visual studies. And one of the things I do is really just have people smell things and give their impressions.
Yeah.
Smell each other's armpits, smell each other's T-shirts. Actually, we turn out to be really good at like recognizing the smell of people who are related to us or our partners. If everybody, a whole bunch of people wear T-shirts and don't put on lotions or wash themselves and just have the smell of the stink of themselves, we can pick it out. We know we know what our brother smells like precisely, even out of context. So our noses are decent. We just don't usually want to smell that close.
Right. We don't like to smell in this country, do we? I mean,
yeah. We have an aversion to smell, which is kind of a shame. I mean, babies are born with a really good sense of smell, and
and they smell good. Smelling a baby is a pleasure.
The smell of a baby is great,
Except
right?
at some points it's not.
The smell of the baby's head is great. We appreciate that, but then when the baby starts like noticing smells, we never reward them and say like, oh yeah, that's a great smell. We sort of ignore it, and so
Say
over
icky
time,
poo.
it seems like we become thinking that all smells are just good or bad smells, not like just information, the way it must be for a dog.
Yes, and yet in other cultures, European, let's say, smell is very important. Olfaction is more important. It's part of getting to know you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all do have a smell. There's good research that says that we tend to mate with people. We tend to pair up with people whose smell we like the most. It would be hard to have a partner whose smell you didn't like. So even if it's an unconscious use of the sense, it's important to us somehow. But our culture definitely de-emphasizes it. I think some people would like there to be no smells in their days.
Yes. I sort of feel that way some days. Some days I'd like to. Some days I get down with my dog and try to smell what she's smelling. And you've done that actually.
Yeah.
You've actually tried to increase your smelling abilities. Have you gone out with your dog and tried to smell what they're smelling?
Yeah, I figured, hey, they're my informant. So, I did this one day. I went out and took a walk with them, and then whenever they smelled, I would get down on my knees and try to smell, and my dogs gave me a real look, like, what are you doing? I don't even know, and people sort of take a really wide walk around you when you do this. And you can smell a lot when you get close to things. That's actually one of the major tricks that a dog has over us is they stick their nose in things, close to things,
They're
and there's
down
a lot
there.
more smell, and our noses are just way up in the air.
Yeah.
So that helps a lot, even if I can't smell exactly what this dog was smelling.
So what did you pick up on that occasion?
Well, that trip, I went right close to one of these tree guards these fences that go around street trees in New York City, and I smelled like the paint of the tree guard. Like I think it must have been recently. And I actually did follow one of my dogs to a dead squirrel on the ground that he was really interested in. And I thought, well, I gotta smell it. I gotta see what it smells like. And it didn't smell good, I would say, but it has a very distinct smell that I didn't know about. It smelled like a kind of sweet and foul at once, like flowers that have been left too long in water. That kind of rotting carnation smell.
A squirrel sound? A dead squirrel?
A dead squirrel, yeah. So
Like
now
flowers and water, really?
I've done that work for you. But overall, I really recommend people getting closer to things and smelling them. It's really surprising. Every object has a smell, and we're just missing it.
The question is, would you roll on a dead carp if your dog was doing it? Because you liked the smell that much. You wanted to carry it with you.
Part. I didn't do the rolling. That's some other book, I guess.
That's your next book, Rolling on a Dead Carp now with Alexandra Horowitz.
Rolling like a dog.
Yeah. Because they must, there are some smells they like so much they want to wear them.
It seems like that's the best theory for why they roll in things. Wolves do the same behavior, but it's to kind of camouflage themselves. If you're a wolf sneaking into another wolf's territory, then maybe you want to roll in something that territory smells like, so that maybe you can get away with not being noticed for a little while. But dogs don't have the same territory thing, so it looks like it's sort of just a perfume to them, that they really love it. It's so good, and they think, I want to be covered with this.
And now these days there's the whole field of working dogs, and smell is very much part of a working dog's life, right? In various fields and avocations now.
There are huge numbers of detection dogs, and every time you're at an airport, you see the police dogs, and their dogs detecting, everything from illegal goods to counterfeit electronics to bed bugs.
They can smell.
Missing person,
They can smell
and this is
counterfeit
all through
electronics.
smell, yeah.
Can a dog smell like a counterfeit iPhone?
Yeah, absolutely.
What do they
are trained
smell?
on a component of the electronics, and they can detect it. And they do that, I think they can always detect that. It's not like they're taught to smell. They're taught to just notice that one particular smell, which they already notice, if they point it out, they'll get to play. That's basically their reward. That's the whole training of a detection dog, is saying, like, okay, giving them the smell that they're supposed to notice, and when they do, they get to play a game of fetch or play with a tug toy. And these dogs are so driven that they'll do that.
Amazing stuff. And even in terms of disease.
And disease, right. There are now a lot of research on cancer detection dogs. Are not clinically used yet, but there were the early studies where owners, noticed their dog was sniffing a lot on their leg and kept pushing them away, and eventually went to the doctor and found that they had a melanoma, and their dog could smell the cancer cells, apparently. So now there are trials about training dogs to distinguish smells of different cancers from regular blood or breath or urine smells, and they're really reliable at it. It's amazing work. I won't recommend that people go home and strip down and okay, dog, find any cancer on me. But in theory, they could. It's just that we don't notice when they're telling me, and they don't know to tell us that they've found something. So, but I have to say, if I ever notice my dog smelling, a part of my body, a particular lot one day, then I'll check it out. I'll see what that is, because they'll notice if there's something diseased or infected.
Well, that's a little worrisome because my dog dotes on my feet. And my dog is forever licking my feet. Do I possibly have cancer of the foot?
Has she always been licking your feet?
What?
Or your whole life? Has she been licking your feet, or did she just start this morning?
Well, I've only had her for a year and a half. 2 years.
Well, so if she's always been interested, then they just must smell amazing. That's all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's a very amazing book, Being a Dog, the latest from Alexandra Horowitz. It's on Simon & Schuster, and thank you so much.
Thanks very much for having me.
Very interesting. Alexandra Horowitz, ladies and gentlemen. And she is Being a Dog. Get the book, you can be too. All right.
Woof.
Well, you're counting in advance now?
No.
That's nice, because I hate when I say, now from John and Jeff here's on, then you got to count it out. You should count when I look at you. You should be counting right now.
Oh, you want us just to knock it off? Just don't.
No, I'm saying in the best of all possible worlds.
Oh, okay.
All right, Jeff, how are you?
Because sometimes you like to
You have
talk
a dog,
to...
don't you, Jeff?
Yes.
What do you have?
A mix, but kind of like a yellow Labrador Retriever.
Yellow Labrador Retriever with horns.
German Shepherd ears.
German Shepherd ears.
Yeah.
And its name is Killer.
No.
Yeah. And you got your two higher dogs doing okay? Yeah.
Well, one of the diabetes, we're getting the insulin.
Oh, yeah, that's a drag.
Good.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad. Nice dog. Yeah, you're a dog guy.
I never was.
You know what I remember about you is when you used to try and catch your dog's poops before they hit the ground.
Oh, yeah. I'm still occasionally.
I think that's it. Anyone else ever done? I never heard anyone else do that. Would you follow your dog with a shovel?
Well, no, a bag.
Yeah, but isn't it a shovel or something? You try to catch it in a bag held in your hand?
Yeah. You got to pick it up anyway.
This is Jeff's dog here. I don't know if you can see that at home over there. Oh, the cute little dog. It does, you're right. You have those ears from a different dog, however. Okay, so this song here that you didn't count off, what is this going to be?
We're going to count it off. We're not going to count it off. I'm
No.
going to count it through the music.
Ah, well, that's an innovation.
And we're going to play Soon. George Gershwin.
George Gershwin. Oh, isn't it nice? Soon. Soon.
Soon.
Very nice. Very nicely done. Very nice interpretation of that George Gershwin. Are you a dog person? Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog. I've
Did
always
you- when you-
wanted a
Did
dog.
you grow up with a dog?
Nope. My parents
Never had
wouldn't
it?
let me have a dog.
They wouldn't let you? What would they let you have? Anything?
I had a fish.
You had a fish?
And a stray cat that I adopted that I trained to fetch and come when I called its name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a cat.
Yeah, it is pretty good for
Usually
a
they
cat.
don't condescend to do that. They don't cat descend to do that. You know?
Yeah. I don't know why that cat was special and did that, but
Yeah. And I don't get why the Egyptians didn't worship dogs.
yeah,
You
I
know,
don't get
they,
it either.
they went to trouble of embalming all their cats and things. I know they liked them, and they had cats are part of the whole deity thing. But dogs were out in the cold.
Yeah. It's a
Modern
shame.
thing. Fish you don't get much affection from.
No. Although I also trained my fish to do tricks, so yeah.
You trained your fish to do tricks?
Yeah, it would follow my finger along the glass and it would jump up out of the water if I flicked my fingertip.
Well, everybody
kinda
does
cool.
that. Everybody does that for you. It's just some.
No. No.
You have that kind of mind control over people. I would jump out of the tank for you. That's
Aw.
amazing. I didn't know you could do that. I'm going down to the audience here. It's actually here in the saloon. I'm on the floor of the saloon now. And how are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm good. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
Cat person.
Are you?
Yeah.
How many cats do you have? Just one?
I don't have any now, but I used to have 13.
Whoa.
My mother did. Yeah.
Your mother had 13 cats?
Yes.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's kind of this is the kind of thing you read in the newspaper. They found her with 13 cats.
And I had some other cats myself later.
Wouldn't
And
that- if you grew up with 13 cats, wouldn't that make you hate cats?
no, I love them all. They were great.
Any
Really.
feelings about dogs? Any feelings about dogs?
Well, my daughter has a dog, my son has a dog, and I'm beginning to be attached to them. Yes.
What is that like then? Did you think when you were a young child that you actually were a cat? Growing up with 13 cats, you thought you were one?
No, but I never thought it was unusual until now. When I look,
Until just now?
yeah, right.
Oh, I'm so glad we were able to help you with it.
Yeah, I mean, really,
Make you catatonic or something like that.
this is true. I probably am.
What's your name?
Darlene,
Darlene?
yes.
Yeah, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Okay, yeah, but she doesn't have a cat now. I think that's interesting. So maybe she's over it. We got, do you miss us as much as we miss you? From Jody Bloomreich, Green Bay. Yes, Jody, more, I think. I miss you much more, Judy. Do you miss me?
Very much.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain that a little more.
Well,
What do you miss most about me?
Saturday mornings aren't the same without you.
Oh.
For me either.
No. We were driving down from Green Bay to visit our daughter today, and listening to radio, and like, what's Michael Feldman doing right now? So I Googled it, and I'm like, oh, we'll go see him.
Is that how you ended up?
Yeah.
How do you like that? That's serendipity. Or some kind of dippity. I don't know. I think it's serendipity. I pretty much will. Thank you so much.
We miss you.
Yeah, no, I miss you too. It's all y'all. But we carry on, and the podcasting is pretty cool.
I didn't know you were doing a podcast.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the problems with podcasting. Is that you just do them, and then you listen to them, and then it's pretty much done. Then you go on to the next podcast.
Well, we're going to start listening to it on Saturday mornings because the alternative is not the same.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Can you subscribe to that podcast?
You can subscribe to the podcast.
How would one go about doing that?
Well, there's a thing called, what's it called? Patreon.
iTunes? Oh, no.
Yeah, you can actually subscribe. It's on iTunes and stuff.
iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
Yeah,
But what
and
were
there-
you saying, Michael?
Well, there's Patreon. Excuse me. Explain this. Thank you.
Well, I don't know much about it, but I've heard it advertised in a number of podcasts. To be a Patreon subscriber, and it's P-A-Y probably is how do you spell it? I mean, dollars.
I neglected to mention it because I didn't know how to pronounce it all. But you can actually subscribe and pay like $3 for a podcast. And it's not much to you, but it's $3 that I don't have now.
Well, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. You're worth.
I'm not trying to nail you down.
You're
here.
worth it.
What line are you in?
My line?
Yes.
Is that an old game show or something?
Well, yes, what's my line? It's a vocation thing. I'm sorry.
I do the bookkeeping for a Milwaukee weekly newspaper. Have you heard of that before? Shepherd Express is what it's called.
Express, very good paper. We love Shepherd Express. Very good publication.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And you do the bookkeeping for them.
Occasionally, yes.
Also a writer? Are you trying to work?
I don't write, no. There's strict division of labor within the office there, yeah.
But what do you do for your personal satisfaction in life?
I do a lot of biking.
I know bookkeeping is a very satisfying thing to do, but you bike?
I do a lot of biking, yeah. From the east side of Milwaukee to the 3rd Ward in Milwaukee, a daily commute. Yeah, back and forth to work. And my question was about bicycling as well.
Oh, what is your question?
Well, it was today in Milwaukee, there are thousands of blanks bicycling. What are the blanks?
We skipped this for your show.
Yes.
Is it the nude bicycling? Nude, it's kind of cold. It's 28 degrees. Bookkeepers are biking nude in Milwaukee today. If you want to get down into the 3rd Ward,
God.
it'd be worth the drive. It's
Not nude bookkeepers either. Keep guessing, please. It is cold out, so perhaps some coverage.
Santas?
the nude Santas are bicycling in Milwaukee today, all day today.
Just in the morning, from the west side, I think in Wauwatosa somewhere, to the bar.
That's great because this will probably be heard like in January of next year. So it'll be a very pleasant memory of seeing all those Santas on bicycles. I actually much prefer it to nude bicycle riders.
That's a Madison thing? Nude bicyclists? Or...
Yeah, the nude bike ride, usually we're at a restaurant or something and they all hit a stoplight right at our window there and it's always the wrong people who do the nude bicycling.
Bicycle seats don't do a lot for human anatomy. It's not a good presentation venue.
They can barely support a lot of human anatomy. And so it's a very disturbing thing and pretty much ruins your lunch. But I like the idea of Santas. You know, some of those same people dressed up as Santas would be much more appealing.
I thought that I ought to dress a little bit like Santa Claus
I
today
was
as
gonna
well
ask.
for that reason, yes.
Yeah, because you're in like head to toe
Red and white, yeah.
Too subtle for Santa Claus. But thank you very much. And your name is?
Christian. Nice to meet you.
Christian. Okay. Thank you all for coming here to the High Noon at noon. We got a little tune here from you, John, and from you, Jeff, to take us home with this edition of the Whad'ya Know Podcast, Patreon edition.
The
Thank
What Do
you.
You Know podcast is produced, hosted, and no one else to blamed by Michael Feldman, made possible by Kickstarter and the best audience a guy ever had, and depends in large measure on John Thulin, Jeff Hammond, Tom Blaine, Aubrey Ralph, Lyle Anderson, Dylan Brogan, Sheila Shigley, and yours, most definitely, Stephanie Lee. Watch us grind our sausage live on YouTube at youtube.com/user/whatdoyoutube. Call in to play the quiz at 608-250-3222. Mine a motherload of What Do You Know nuggets at whatdoyouknow.net. Follow Michael on Twitter at myfeldman and slice the finished salami on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Need to get in touch? Email us at whatdoyouknow2@gmail.com.
Yes, the number 2 is very important to remember. Thank you all for coming. You're joining us here at the High Noon Saloon for What Do You Know at the High Noon. Thank you for listening, if in fact you are. And why don't you if you're not? Well, that wouldn't make sense either, but thank you. Talk to you again real soon. Oh, I love the tapering off on the applause was the best part. Thank you. Okay, that's just the first one. So, okay, you cool with that? Talk stuff. So we're gonna take about 10 minutes here.
Can we play the quiz on the next one?
We'll try to.
Okay.
And then, 10 minutes here. Buy another round. I buy a round, but times are hard.
Do you need a round?
What?
Do you need a round?
Well,
What a spicy or not spicy? Ice cubes are melted.
only if you want to go. It's really safe for drinks. Stop this.
Spicy blood.
All right. Yeah, about 9 minutes now. Robbie Fulks is going to be on this hour. Great. Testing, calling all members of the Whad'ya Know ensemble. Please report to the stage. You are wanted for podcasting purposes. Oh, cool. You got the family with you. Oh, you are, yeah. How's it going? How's it going? You're pretty, and you were even smaller, and you did a lot of stuff on our show. Yeah. Yeah, cool. It's nice now we're in a bar. Yeah. That's cool, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, good. Great to see you guys. Cool enough. All right. Jeff is going to use the bathroom real quick, but he'll be back. Those are his sons there. Yes. Nice job. Okay.
So it's just you and me, huh?
Yeah, it's just us. Let me just sit on the piano and
No.
sing a few.
No.
What should we do? What do you know? It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me.
And I just see your face.
Okay, we won't do that one. I do a medley now of some of my favorite songs. They're mostly from musicals. Let's start out with Officer Krupke, ladies and gentlemen, from the hit musical West Side Story. Gee, Officer Krupke, we're really upset. We never had the love that every child ought to get. I ain't no delinquent, I'm misunderstood. Deep down inside me, there is good. Thank you. And then this one, Maria. I'll never stop saying Maria, 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 Maria. Oh, Maria.
She was great. Wasn't she?
There are chicks just right from, come on, just right for some kissing. And I mean, all right. Say that for the next medley. When I was a kid, I loved musicals. So I always thought I was gay when I was a kid.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think I may still, I don't know, but
I've heard that before.
I just never had the opportunity. Okay. Let's see here now.
That took an interesting turn. That took an interesting turn.
Well, they always do. Don't they? I mean, I didn't know what I meant. I really love musicals.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. It's singing them. There's something wrong with that, you know.
Yeah, liking is one thing. Trying to replicate is.
Have you seen Hamilton yet?
Go steady for good. Go
I
steady.
have tickets.
Go steady.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get tickets?
How did you take us to Hamilton?
It's a long story, but.
Because you're famous.
Well, can you make it a short story?
Well, the mortgage payments on our house now.
Yeah.
My wife, we're gonna have trouble paying them because she bought Hamilton tickets.
Oh, is that right?
She bought a bunch of them.
A bunch of them.
Could you sell an organ, perhaps?
Maybe. Might have to sell a couple Hamilton tickets.
Yeah. Sell this organ. What the heck? You don't need that.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah. I think what's a kidney worth on the open market?
25, 30 grand. I think if you go to.
There, that should cover Hamilton tickets.
Is that how much they're going for?
Somewhere around in there.
Oh, man.
In Chicago.
No, I think that's probably in like Western India.
No, not. Where's Hamilton?
Oh. Chicago. Yeah, it's a Chicago production.
Okay. Good. So it's not the first line Broadway thing, and so it shouldn't be that expensive.
It's expensive. It's the only production going in the country right now, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause they're think this is it was New York, and now it's in Chicago.
I think it's all over now.
Is it? Okay. Well, this is a
I've already given up trying.
Peoria?
I mean, I never even tried.
Peoria.
It's in Chicago, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's probably white people doing it.
No, it's not. Actually,
Well, I wouldn't pay those prices to see white people sing. It's just the way I feel.
no, it's West Side Story.
You can call it a prejudice.
Shaming, white shaming.
White shaming. We already did white shaming. We got to do some kind of shaming now. Feldman shaming would be good. All right, let me just see what I'm. Okay. Well, that's not going to work. I'll cut that out. Get all the news that isn't funny. Okay, cut this page. I think I'll cut right to. No, I think I'll cut right to page 3.
Don't spill your drink there. It's near the edge.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You really didn't have to do that. But since you did. Very nice. Very nice of you. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. All right, we'll try this. Let's just do it, okay? Let's not worry about it so much, and let's just do it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Let's just do it. We do it. And we got Robbie Fulks, ladies and gentlemen. What can go wrong when you got Robbie Fulks? I do my thing, get out of the way. Here's Robbie Fulks. There's a show. Okay. Okay. All right, let's just start with this, though, because I know that's not going to work. All right, we'll do the opening here, and then we'll do the same thing with you sitting there and not saying not much you. And then that'll...
No, they did a beautiful job.
No, you're very good. You're very good.
Great.
All at the same time would be nice, though.
No,
A
don't
little
worry about it.
enthusiasm wouldn't hurt. Well, the recount in Wisconsin has Nixon beating Kennedy handily. So then, what do you know?
And now, live from Madison, Wisconsin's High Noon Saloon, cold beer, hot music, nothing wrong with that. It's Michael Feldman's What Do You Know? Brought to you by Boruchim's Oriental Rugs of Madison. Once you go Bishar, you never go back. Persian BIJAR.com. Tell Albert Michael sent ya. And by the Wisconsin Greenhouse Company. Sales, installations, lighting, and repairs for whatever you're growing. Check them out at wisconsingreenhouscompany.com. Today we welcome Robbie Fulks, the man who's so country, the rest of country is alt to him. He has a new one out on Bloodshot Records, Upland Stories. To my right is John Thulin, keyboards and offhand remarks. By his side, that stand-up guy on stand-up bass, Jeff Hammond, straight ahead, so to speak, Lyle Anderson, caroler and phone answerer, and myself, most definitely, Stephanie Lee. And now, the man who, with just a few cabinet posts left, is willing to take the Postal Service and make it great again, Michael Feldman.
Oh, yeah. How are you? Pretty good, then? Thanks for coming. That last audience was a little slow, but you guys look a lot better. Very nice to have you here.
We had to throw all them out. This is the second, season.
I know. There's a lot of rotation in the crop here. Got to rotate your crops. I'll say that as someone who's never farmed. In other news that isn't, the cabinet is now at $41 billion and rising. That's right, $41 billion of worth in the cabinet there in the Trump administration. The criteria for President-elect Trump, and I try to say that at least once a day, but still have to be Heimlicked in the middle of it, was not expertise for a particular department, like the Amway Queen for education. That was a good one. Bankruptcy King for commerce, or the Hollywood Financer for treasury. So it wasn't their backgrounds; it was numbers of billions per candidate to qualify for the cabinet, and it's all because being able to fire a room full of billionaires is for Donald Trump of Queens, New York, a dream come true. That's what he wants to do: fire billionaires. I'm telling you, that's what it is. You watch them; they're going to go down one by one. In fact, Trump hired 25 billionaires for the 15 cabinet positions. and will make them play musical chairs before every meeting for his own amusement. Billionaires hate other billionaires. Did you know that? That's what I heard, anyhow. I don't qualify to know that. But you have to admit there's a certain amount of sense to a man who should never be president picking 15 individuals who should never head a department. Okay, that's usually applause. That's an applause sign right there. Yeah, okay. I don't know, maybe not. Big salute to America taking one giant leap towards being great again. With the appointment of General James, there are some assholes in the world that just need to be shot, Mattis, as Secretary of Defense. And while I might agree with that, I don't know that we'd agree which assholes need it. So there you go. Huh? Get a dog to sniff that out. You were here for the show last week. We're way past dog sniffing. We're hitting political topics really hot here. Melania will not be moving into the White House with her husband, has been told to phone before coming over. So she could be on the way out. For any ceremonial occasions, 1998's Playmate of the Year, Karen McDougal, is standing by in the East Wing. Just for ribbon cuttings and what have you. What was that? Okay, never mind, I don't care. She's on retainer. She still has a retainer, but she's on retainer. Donald Trump has been given a Grande Viva Trumpa by 1,300 new Carrier air conditioner workers at the plant in Monterrey, Mexico. Boy, that was so good if you really thought about it. Obamacare is as good as gone. Better have the elective surgery by January 20th. I'm thinking of having my left leg lengthened. It's actually an inch shorter than the right. Affect my gait favorably. Seniors, though, need not worry about their GOP Medicare replacement, Ice Flow Care. That's where, if you're ailing, they put you on an ice flow, ladies and gentlemen, and wish you the best. Soon all your worries will be over, except maybe for global warming, finding enough ice flows. Oh, I'm killing them. I am killing. I honestly didn't think it would go this good because some of it is kind of iffy.
Nobody can even speak.
It's kind of iffy or esoteric. If I got to look that up, but I think it might be. The NFL may move Thursday night football to Tuesdays, where nothing much ever happens anyway. Okay, elections. There, can't get away from that, can we? Hillary Clinton tracks have been spotted in the Blue Ridge Mountains near Roanoke. Although we'll have to wait for the plaster cast to be sure it's her. Hillary this is dynamite stuff. In the Ukraine, this kills. A lot of this stuff kills in the Ukraine. And we're heard in the Ukraine. There's one person who downloads this in Ukraine.
Is there really?
Yes. So this is for you out there in Ukraine. How you doing? Are you in Crimea? I don't know. Cool. Hillary has let it be known to the few friends who don't send her emails straight to spam that she doesn't really care about the recount. She is, quote, so over the presidential thing. Glass ceilings, schmass ceilings. End quote. It's too sad. Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Too sad. Too soon. Too sad. Mars once teamed with life. Let's start that again. Mars once teamed with life, which all vanished as an unintended consequence of an effort to make Mars great again. Sarah Palin says God, who she can see from her deck there in Alaska, intervened to elect Donald Trump. Now maybe God will get her a job in the GD Trump administration. A ransomware attack by hacker underachievers, only asking $73,000, fails to shut down San Francisco's light rail system. The kids involved can't be much older than 9 or 10 to think that $73,000 is worth asking for. Okay. Swimming, aerobics, and racket sports reduce the risk of death but increase the risk of totally unnecessary injuries. So it's like, do I want to die or do I want pins in both femurs? Trump will abort the Obama Cuban charm offensive unless Trump Guantanamo Bay Resort in Lynx becomes a reality now that Fidel is gone.
Could happen.
Could happen. Kellogg's tells Breitbart fake news that racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic are not the snap, crackle, and pop they had in mind. Kellogg's, see? Trump is between a rock and Donald Jr., either running his developments and hotels around the world or letting his kids run them into the ground. So he's in a tough position, which we can appreciate. There is precedence for presidents holding on to and working their assets. Jimmy Carter, while in office, hung on to the worm farm. Okay. And Billy hung on to the beer, as I recall.
Yeah,
Billy, so they got something out of it. You know, I'm not saying it's. Students at the Sydney Grammar School. Students at the Sydney Grammar School in Sydney, Australia, have made malaria-fighting Daraprim, which sells for $750 a tablet for $2. And Martin Shkreli, currently the world's second most hated man, head of Turing Pharmaceuticals, said his company would be happy to buy the kid's entire supply for that price. All right, so it's very complex. These are very complex things that you probably have to think about, on your drive home there.
Laughing when you go home.
Yes. And here in the Badger State, a salmonella outbreak that sickened 24 people has been traced to Wisconsin 4-H raised calves.
Nice.
Thought to be caused by a hair product used on the heifers, forelocks, by the young future farmers, because they take very good care of their heifers. You know, they love their animals, but sometimes you can love too much, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the news that is, and thank you so much. And for all the 4-H heifer raisers out there, those kids are great. They do a great job with those animals. They love their animals. It's too bad about the salmonella thing. Are you pretty good then? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Anyone here who was in 4-H, by the way? So I think it's a one. Future Farmers of America, any of
To
that?
your left there.
What? Where? My left or your left? Oh, that's the same
Somebody's
left.
left.
Huh? I can't see a thing out. It's very dark out. It's a
Middle.
saloon. It's a tavern. You're in 4-H? Yeah. Yeah? And what was, did you have an animal that you entered?
I showed rabbits.
You showed rabbits?
Yes.
Oh, how nice. Did you care for your rabbit? I mean, you must have loved your rabbits.
It wasn't mine.
It wasn't your rabbit?
It was my grandmother.
Your grandmother's rabbit. That's interesting.
I didn't want to be in 4-H.
You didn't want to be in 4-H. But you had a wonderful experience with such a...
I lived in the city.
You lived in the city and you...
Mom made me be in 4-H.
And your mom made you be in 4-H.
And show my grandmother's rabbit.
And show your grandmother's rabbit. This is, this is a longer discussion.
Child abuse.
This is a longer discussion. There's so many different conflicting emotions going on with this whole thing with the rabbits and the grandmother and your mother and what she expects of you and you're living in the city.
Expectations.
And did her rabbit win a ribbon?
I think they felt sorry for an Asian girl showing rabbits.
They felt sorry for an Asian girl selling rabbits,
Showing.
rabbits, and so did you get a ribbon?
Got a blue ribbon, yes.
You got a blue ribbon. Blue ribbon! That's why 4-H is so great. That's what I'm saying. That's why 4-H is so great. Were you ever in 4-H?
I think I was for like long enough to build a birdhouse, and then I quit.
Uh-huh.
It's a heck of a birdhouse.
That's like me in Boy Scout, Cub
Yeah.
Scouts. I was in Cub Scouts for like one meeting. I got to be a webelow. I mean, what kind of webelow? What kind of thing is that? That's something I want to go into. I said,
Yeah,
no.
that's how far I got too, and then I quit.
Yeah, webelow. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
So, and we made things out of popsicle sticks. It's like,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
coming back. Sheldon Wiviet's mother, was showing us how to make things out of popsicle sticks. That's scouting. Yeah. Were you a scout of any sort? Or?
No.
Did you belong to anything ever?
I played soccer.
Soccer is good. In
Yeah.
high school or?
No, as a elementary school student.
Oh, you did?
Yep. Played.
Decided not to stick with it in middle school? Or?
Well, yeah. I should have kept it up. I was pretty good. I played fullback. They
You did?
called me the wall because nothing got past me.
That's still true. That is still true.
No, not true anymore.
Nothing
Yeah.
gets past you. How cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't play anymore because of what?
No,
Did your mother try to stop you from doing any contact sports like Jewish families?
Oh, I don't know. I never really thought to ask. So growing up, I went to Chinese school every Sunday to learn more about my culture and like learn how to write and read. And we also played piano. We were like typical
Chinese.
Yeah.
Typical Chinese. We were typical Jews. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, no shame.
No shame in that. No Chinese shaming going on here. Did your grandmother ever say you should show her rabbit?
No, she never had a rabbit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
interesting. So I guess,
I can't
everyone's
identify
experience is
with.
different.
Yeah.
But this is kind of unusual, though. I mean, there's two Asian women who are in 4-H in one room here. That's
I don't think my experience counts as being in 4-H.
She just built a birdhouse. How is that? That's not one of the H's.
You got to start somewhere.
What are the H's?
Helpful, hardware, Hank.
Handy?
And handy. Helper, Hank, hardware, Hank. 4 H's. I'm pretty sure.
Good H's to be.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got it right. Robbie Fulks is joining us here at the High Noon Saloon. And we're excited about it. Robbie's an old friend of Whad'ya Know. He's been on with us. He was on with us one time when he was doing Michael Jackson covers and killed Billie Jean. That was better than the original, I think. Would you welcome, please, Robbie Fulks, ladies and gentlemen, to the Whad'ya Know stage. Thank you, Robbie. Do you need that guitar, or you want me to? You need a backup singer. I'm happy to come in on some of this stuff. I know the Sonny Bono song. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. I was practicing. I got to do a Sonny Bono song for tonight's show. I was trying to practice it earlier.
It's a great song.
I'm sorry you had to hear that.
It's a wonderful song.
It is a good song. Our friends, the Skeletons, did it. Lou Whitney,
Yeah. Sonny Bono, much underrated as a congressional songwriter.
Yes, there aren't too many. Robert Byrd played the fiddle, if I remember, and Sonny Bono, but not a lot of musicians over there, yeah.
No, I don't know what they're doing, but they're not making music. Yeah, how are you?
Never been better.
Really? I'm sorry to hear that, I guess. I don't know.
I know.
People will say that. I never said that as a serious answer, but is that true?
I think that's true.
Yeah,
I'm doing great, yeah.
You have good attitudes, though, don't you?
I have what?
Good attitude.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I feel, 53. I'm 53. I don't know if anybody here, but...
What's that like? I can't remember.
You can't remember? Well, no, you're doing great, too. But I think,
Look at this. Work in a saloon for drinks. How about that?
I like this venue maybe a little bit better than your last venue.
It's more relaxed, and look at people. Yeah. You don't have to buy your own booze. And what's new in Robbie world?
Oh, nothing. I've been doing the same thing for 40 years, I guess,
Yeah.
Traveling around and, 30.
Are you getting good at it?
I don't know. It depends who you ask, but I got the banjo in my act now. That's kind of nice,
Did you start with banjo, though, didn't you?
That's right, yeah. Man, what research, yeah. When I was 7, I started with the banjo.
Yeah. Whose banjo was that you started with?
Whose banjo? It was my aunt's banjo.
Your aunt's banjo.
I think it was Aunt Mildred, her banjo. Some different people in my family played the banjo, but I was never very, very good at it. But it's addictive.
It's complex, the banjo, isn't it? I mean, that's a complicated thing to play, isn't it?
Deceptively, I think, yes.
Yes.
I mean, you can strum an open chord, without fretting anything. Sounds great, but then it's kind of like. I think Danny Barnes described it as a badly dubbed movie because what your fingers are doing doesn't actually make sense. The vision of it compared to what you're hearing.
I like it. Life is a badly dubbed movie, I think, in general. That's a good thing. And the new one is Upland.
Upland Stories came out last spring.
It's great.
Oh, thank you.
It's great. I think it's already a classic in my thinking.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Did you give up on the whole Michael Jackson routine, or that was good though?
The Michael Jackson record. I don't know how much. Was it like 7 years ago or something? Yeah. But I put out.
Well, I don't get out much. He's still doing good, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think he's doing great.
Yeah, got to. So talented. Is there anything you won't do?
Musically?
Musically. What else could I possibly mean? I have no idea. I won't. Don't bother answering that. What are you going to do for us?
Well, I'll pick something to start with. Am I doing like 3? Is that what I'm doing?
You can do as many as you want. I don't care. We're lucky to have you here, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be as good as that last guest from last week, Alexandra.
Yeah.
She was great. That was
If
so
you
interesting.
just want to talk about dogs, you can do that. I don't care what you do. You're Robbie Fulks, man.
Well, it's ryegrass in the wintertime, flowers in the spring, but Texas in the summer is nigh on suffering. I went up on Jackson Hill at a diner, I sat down, and I waved at every stranger just to move the air around. It's long to ride for the little I gain. Hey, when I left that Brooklyn girl, I never thought it through. She had silk brocade in her bedroom and a job that paid for 2. I think I'll get down the old guitar and see what I may find. Get $1 off some lawyer on the number 7 line. It's a long to ride for the little I gain. So treat you kind when your wallet's in your hand, but a 6-string on your shoulder could be the devil's brand. They'll put themselves above you, but for all their strut and brag, I'd trade every brick on Wall Street for one Black Mountain rag. It's long to ride for the little I gain. Well, I rode back to my boyhood if I could only go. There's a little girl that stole my heart and I think she'd like to know. Yeah, but the road it goes but one way, and so the only goal in sight is to make them feel it more in the daytime than I drink down at night. At the high noon, it's a long to ride for the little I gain. They say the Norfolk girls are fair and they all sing right on key, but I went down and I never found one sang as good as me. And they say that there's a wondrous land for any good man that dies, and if it's got drink and women, well then I'll be surprised. It's long to ride for the little I gain. Thank you.
Do you got to do the mouth thing when you're doing the picking thing? Is it, or you can't do it?
That's surprisingly easy to do. I
Yeah.
know it might look impressive, but it's really easy.
Yeah. That was easy? What's hard for you? What's hard for you to do on a, if that's easy, what's hard for you to do on a guitar?
What's hard? You know, like a real slow song is surprisingly hard.
Because they can hear the mistakes.
To play it in time. The time thing, when you're like playing at that speed, or when you have to hold, like simple things, like holding one chord for a long time, your fingers start to hurt. But that kind of nonsense I was just doing, that's easy.
Yeah. I know, I do it all in my sleep. Then I wake up and I can't play the guitar. That was great. Wonderful song. Is that on the new one?
That's on my second to newest one.
Yeah.
Gone Away Backward is called.
Okay. Get them all. They're on Bloodshot. You're mostly on Bloodshot.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Records. And that's a great label, by the way. You'll enjoy Robbie and a lot of good people on there.
Yeah, they're okay.
They're okay. All right. And are you still doing the thing down at the Chicago, the school of whatever, they're not down there?
The School of
Folk music school there?
Yeah, no, I don't do that anymore. I play there once in a while,
Yeah.
but I play weekly at the Hideout. I'm not sure when this is going to air, but I've had a
me
resident.
neither.
What's
Soon.
that?
Soon. I think it's going
Oh,
to
yeah.
air. Yeah.
Like in the next month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Podcast, isn't it?
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what that is? They have them by you.
People
listen to them, apparently.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't get why.
I listen to a ton of podcasts, but I
Oh, you
was
do?
interested to know you should subscribe. People are always saying that, but you were saying
Yeah.
subscribe, and then you know how many people are listening. If
Yeah.
people subscribe.
We don't have to worry about that.
You should subscribe to this podcast, though, if you're listening. I
Yeah.
think.
At Patreon. Patreonize me. What's this?
Patreon.com.
Patreon. That's what it is. Okay.
But enough about the podcast.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you. And are you on tour at all? Are you moving around the country? And
kind of always doing that, you know. And yeah, that's how I make most of my money. Probably is just traveling around and doing little shows.
So where have you been? Where are you going?
Let's see. I was in Fish Creek, Wisconsin,
Fish
with
Creek.
my friend Don the other week.
Yeah. Where'd you
And
play
I
up in
was-
Fish Creek? At the auditorium?
There's a little place called the White Gull Inn where
Yes.
they squeeze. You know that place?
It's expensive, but I've driven past it.
You should perform there. Then it's free. They give you like free granola and a room, and it's great.
They have fish cheeks that are supposed to be really good there.
Oh, really?
The white fish cheeks.
Oh, I didn't
That's
know
it.
that.
Yeah.
I accidentally called it fish head while I was playing. I was like, they didn't like to hear the.
The head goes in there too, and the boil, the fish boil.
You should go up there and perform.
Yeah, I
they
should.
would love it.
Well,
Yeah.
I should perform somewhere.
You should. You really ought to.
Fish Creek, is that the height of your recent tour?
Oh, well, I'm trying to think where. I mean, I did a run on the East Coast and then on the West Coast right after. You know, it's interesting. I mean, the show is so political that a lot of your stuff was earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
And I was mentioning to you.
Not so much later, but earlier.
I was mentioning to you when we were talking that it was odd, like just getting outside of my proverbial bubble. I live in Chicago, but just as soon as you got we had one drive from Wilmington to York, Pennsylvania. For some reason, I was playing in both of those towns.
Yeah, and you're from Pennsylvania, aren't you?
I'm from York. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was born
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really grow up there, but I was born there. But yeah, the signage. And not just signs everywhere, but people standing around the signs and just people fervent. It was like a religion out there. And I'm bringing this up as kind of a nefarious segue because I think that you had mentioned this one song that I have on my new record.
Love it.
And so I was trying to think of, in a way of a phrase that you could use to describe the red state people that would be both honest and that red state and blue state people could actually agree with the phrase. Like that was like a mental challenge for me. So the phrase I came up with was America is a hard religion, and that's the song that you mentioned that you liked. So.
Yes. Are you going to do it, or are you just teasing on it?
No.
Buy the album and you can hear it, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
an incredibly
Bloodshot.
long-winded segue into the song.
And this is on the banjo.
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. That's a nice looking instrument.
I got it in a Zebulon, this place called Zebulon.
Yeah.
I'm going to move the mic just slightly, just to, hey, you. How's that? Some rule from the sky, some inch across the ground. Their bent backs turned to all heaven above sends down. Scratch and pull from this earth what gold it may give. Fattening on the feast to come, laboring now to live. And America is a hard religion. Not just anyone may enter. America is a hard religion. Some never do surrender. Sent to a savage land, mother knows not why. To plant a seed in rocky soil and perhaps to die. Freedom come it may to this child instead. Freedom comes, freedom goes, father is surely dead. And America is a hard religion. Not just anyone may enter. America is a hard religion. Some never do surrender. Paid by thanks nor praise, yet we soldier on. Trials to test our hearts, doubts to make us strong. Cheered by loved ones that from the graveyard say, all my tears surely gone after I fly away. And America is a hard religion. Not just anyone may enter. America is a hard religion. Some never do surrender. Thank you very much.
America is a hard religion. That's from the new one, and that was a brilliant song.
Thanks. I used to sit there when we talked. But,
Yeah. Did you want to sit down here and talk for a while?
May I?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You bet. Sure. I'll just take that. Yeah, that's John's coat. Take that off there. I didn't know you wanted to sit down and talk. That's cool.
John and Jeff sound great today. I can actually hear you better over here. My ears are kind of crappy, so.
Are they? What's the matter with them?
Poor hearing.
Is that from being a musician? You end up being too
I think
much?
it's genetic. It's not. Yeah, I don't play with loud drums or anything. But.
Yeah. So you mentioned where you've been. Where you headed next? Did you do Europe at all? I would think you would do.
Every once in a while, not too often, but.
No.
Where am I going next? I'm going to.
Where are you big in? Norway?
I go to Norway, Sweden,
Yeah.
just once to Japan, and but mostly UK and Scandinavia.
Yeah.
So, and I think next I'm going to a place called Pauling, New York. Well, I'm going to New York City, and then to Pauling, and then to Maine for a couple shows, and but it's a pretty light month overall.
Yeah. And have you had an agent? You're like your own agent or something, right? Aren't you? Pretty
No,
much?
I've got all that nonsense.
You got agents and all that sort of
Agent
stuff?
and a manager, and well, just those two, and a wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Did they try when you were starting out? Did they try to get you to stick to one genre and quit jumping around?
I think if I were more economically valuable, that people would be exerting pressure on me in that way. But I just
You're
managed to
culturally valuable.
I think that's the upside of not being that popular. Is like I kind of do my own thing. You have freedom.
I found that too, but in your case, I don't think it's true. It's the only difference between them. So. And all right, well, that's really interesting. And then so there's a lot going on, and you're feeling good, and you're traveling a lot, and you're getting the venues and stuff, and so things are good.
Yeah, it's nothing's changed for me in a sense in like 35 years. So I've been enjoying it because you look at it from the beginning or from the outside, you say, how the hell can you do that? Make a living, going around with your guitar and doing what you do anyway in your room for free for enjoyment. But but it's worked out for me. Yeah.
If you hadn't gone this route, I mean, there's a point in my life where I decided, okay, I'm not going to law school like my brother Howard, and I'm just going to try and do some things that I like.
Right.
But that's like a big departure from what your program is. Where would you have gone if you didn't decide to go with your musical talent?
Well, I was in college as an English major,
There you go.
putatively, and
That's useful.
What
I was
what do you
too.
do with that?
Yeah.
I would have been a guitar player probably. So I don't think there was any other path for me. Really.
No secret passion of yours to be a Wall Street financier
Oh my
or.
God. Can you imagine anything worse? Me being, I don't have any skills really is the thing.
You do well for a guy without skill. I would
Well,
say.
singing and playing and writing songs. So I mean,
superb. You're superb at it. You're cursed with being superb at what you do.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's a curse, ladies and gentlemen. He has to do it.
It's a curse.
It's a curse, yeah. The kids are kids musical, your kids?
Well, thank you for asking. Yeah, I just met your daughter, and
Yeah.
I was saying, man, she's
Nora.
a nice child for you to have. I don't have any child as nice as
Okay,
your
I'll
daughter.
accept that as best possible meaning.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice child for me to have.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
it looks
you're-
good on you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, my kids are doing fine. I got 3 boys and one grandson. They're all
But
sons.
do they play it? Are they musical? Or is
Yeah,
it-
my youngest.
Can you do a trap family thing at any point in the future?
I just wish that we would all dress up in sweaters and do that. My youngest kid plays the piano. Tennessee plays the piano, and my middle kid has a great passion. He plays the drums and some bass and all the instruments, really. But
Yeah.
he went to Berkeley and then dropped out, and now he's at Bard. So
The Berkeley School of Music? Or
yeah,
Berkeley,
my middle
Berkeley?
kid's the one that's more the carbon copy of myself as far as interests and attitudes.
And have you talked to him about it? Have you tried to talk him out of it? Or
Exactly. Yeah, I did. I did.
What did you say?
It was a very emotional, I think, for both of us, confrontation when
Really?
he was 14. He said, "I'm going to be a musician. I've decided." I said, "What the hell are you thinking?" and he said, I just want to do what you do." And he was like taken aback. And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, you put it that way, I'll never say anything again." But it's like playing the lottery. It's like your kid tells you, "I just want to go to Vegas and put all the money on, the roulette wheel," is what it's like to say, "I want to be a musician."
Yeah.
So you just try to give them a little information. A 14, 15-year-old doesn't want to hear a lot of information maybe from the parent, but
Yeah.
but
No.
they kind of subtly absorb it in a way, I think.
Yeah. Why would you be reluctant for a child of yours
Well,
to go your route?
I guess just for that reason, because of the economic uncertainty and because of the overall uncertainty, you never seem to end up exactly where you aim at. If you go to law school, you're definitely going to be a certain kind of a lawyer. You plan to be a tax lawyer and you're that, but you go into music. And, I don't know what I thought I was going to end up as. I just thought, maybe a celebrity or something. But, and I never thought I was going to be a country musician or a guy. But in a way, like I ended up playing a lot of the venues that my heroes when I was young. I'd look up to like John Hartford or Ricky Skaggs or Delbert McClinton or these people. And
What venue, like where did you go where you thought, God, he played here?
Well, like I lived around Durham, and I'd go to like little, I don't remember the names of some of those joints, but you just, like rooms like this, like the High Noon, like a lot of my heroes play in these small rooms like this, and I always thought of them as giants, but in retrospect, I'd go hear John Hammond play when I was a kid or somebody like that, and he'd be playing to 70 people, Sometimes now I play the same kind of rooms for 70 people, and I ended up doing what I admired in those people, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
But you talk about the kids. I've had the same discussion with Nora about she said, "Dad, I'm thinking of being a quiz master."
A quiz master.
And I said, "Honey, more power to you." And she forgot about it. They forget about it. She forgot about it. She's doing very well. She's lots of things. So, that's her. Yeah, not true. Okay, that's how you know it's Nora if you hear that. Not true. Do you feel like playing another one? Would you?
Yeah.
Would you care to?
I'll do one more under protest. Yes.
Yeah.
I've got your sound guy is not going to like what I'm about to say, but I've got a friend here that plays some mandolin, and he might I might impose on him to sneak up and kind of share
please.
the mic with
Who
me.
Who is that?
His name is Bill Monroe, and no, his name is Don Sternberg.
All right. Can we work this out? Do we have to do some refixing of microphones and it's all good?
Just let it rip.
You're just gonna. He's got okay. Look at he's got a case on it there that has stickers on it from around the world.
Reminds me of your bag, Michael.
Yeah. Only his is for real. I just stuck stuff on my bag.
We'll just kind of share this mic. I think it'll work out. We'll just kind of mix ourselves as we
Get
go.
out of the way, Sue, if you need me to.
I'll stay where you are, Stephanie.
Yeah. Hey Don. How are you? Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, we had a show here last night, and Don and I played a little bit, and we're fixing to drive back to Chicago, and I don't know if it'll be right just to have him sit there and watch me play. You know, we got to do something together here. I was thinking of, you want to be over there or over here? Let's, he's squeezing over here? Sure.
Cool, huh? This is actually happening as it's happening. Very excited.
Oh, okay. I'll just introduce the songs while
Tom, you want to get in there too? Play bass?
while you're doing this. You want to squeeze in and
Tom plays bass. He can fit.
Wow. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-foot table.
We're gerrymandering the stage.
We're fixing to do a song that, I love that word fixing. We're fixing to do a song here that is sort of based on, I mentioned Durham, North Carolina, where I went to junior high and high school, and this is a tune off of the new record, and it's...
What's that record called?
I think it's called Patreon.com.
Switch places.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Tom Blaine, ladies and gentlemen. Our engineer extraordinaire. To make things happen just like that.
This is great technical flexibility, and
isn't it?
So this is a tune about North Carolina, and it's about North Carolina in the 70s, and sort of about a guy looking back that never got away from home and thought about it. It's got some local references in it. There was a group called the Red Clay Ramblers when I was a kid, and they played a lot down there. And most of those guys are still alive and around in a sense. But Tommy Thompson, who was in some ways the leader of the group, passed on. I was a friend of his daughter's and used to hang around their house a little bit. But anyway, stuff like that pops up in the song. And it's called Fare Thee Well, Carolina Gals. You know this one, Don? You playing B flat? Oh, yeah. Those loose-limbed guys would swing their feet down the airport side of Franklin Street, and I'd watch them in the not quite innocent way I'm looking at them this evening. Thinking about the plans I put on hold while the town got smaller and the days unrolled. Now there ain't but 2 stories told, and this one's about leaving. I remember Katie, then Rosalie. I was pressing my luck when I tried for 3. Some shrink from a shameful deed. Me, I'd do it gladly. If I hand you a line, girl, you know it's true. If I give you a couple, then it's yours to choose. 1 story from a total of 2 has got a good chance to end badly. So fare thee well, Carolina gals. I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. I was just a lad about yay tall, sniffing that glue in the Northgate Mall, down where the anchormen say you all, and kindness is a show for strangers. All them be schoolboys and old hippie men, sweating in the sun to no clear end. I made a medium to poor boyfriend and a pretty good house painter. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come, and a lot more fools behind me. Couldn't be hewn like a simple phrase in a well-made tune, but Sackle'll sound good on the moon. You don't need a cane chair and a hound dog. He'd sing the blues, I just smiled. I was such a calm and settled child, thanking the Lord, never dreaming the while he was laying out my downfall. With my hair in my eyes and my chest out swelled, I stood on her porch and I buzzed the bell, peeking round the blind, knowing full well that her folks was gone to Boston. Now they they mean quiet when they say lights out, but that was love making and it made me shout. Daddy would have come home fast, no doubt, if he knew what that weekend had cost him. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come and a lot more fools behind me. Now if a cruel word escapes my mind, don't worry, baby, it's just the wine. On second thought, it's not the wine, it's just me talking. We men pour out our problems like we think that they're unique. They cheer when a baby starts to speak. They ought to give them a prize for stopping. Now, baby, don't you be too surprised if I cash in the farm after Mama dies. Get a Cadillac and just ride till the Pacific meets the bumper. Stop looking at me like I've lost a screw, like things had to lead where they led to. With the house half gone to kudzu, I'd be lucky to get a clunker. By luck, I landed in the upper south. By God, I gotta make my own way out. I should have read the signs by now. I should have heard the locusts buzzing. Oh, Tommy Thompson's dead and gone, and I've been feeling not so strong. Chapel Hill hasn't done me wrong. It was fine till it wasn't. So fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come and a lot more fools behind me. Fare thee well, Carolina gals, I'm going where you can't find me. There'll be trouble in the days to come and a lot more fools behind me. Don Sternberg.
By Michael Feldman, made possible by Kickstarter and the best audience a guy ever had, and depends in large measure on John Thulin, Jeff Hammond, Tom Blaine, Aubrey Ralph, Lyle Anderson, Dylan Brogan, Sheila Shigley, and yours most definitely, Stephanie Lee. Watch us grind our sausage live on YouTube at youtube.com/user/whadyatube. Call in to play the quiz at 608-250-3222. Mine a motherload of Whad'ya Know nuggets at whadyaknow.net, and follow Michael on Twitter at myfeldman and slice the finished salami on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play.
Oh, that's salami. Thank you all for coming and joining us here. I want to tell you once again about December 17th here in Madison, Wisconsin at the High Noon Saloon, our holiday party. Bring a dish to pass. Okay? We're defying the law by doing it, but we don't care anymore. And then also, we're going to do it again in the spring. So this will be coming the end of our first 2016 first semester. But Whad'ya Know 102 will occur in February and run through to summer of next year. So watch for us there. And listen to us on iTunes. And don't forget Patreon.com if you want to put in your $3 worth. Thank you for coming. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again real soon. Boys in the band, John and Jeff, ladies and gentlemen. Stephanie Lee. His foot is on the piano. I don't know why. You're gonna hurt yourself that way. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. Finish your drinks before leaving.